My name is Electra Ntuke, a perception management strategist. Now, if you think that branding is just about logos and taglines, think again. Today, we are unpacking a concept that is reshaping how brands survive and thrive in this digital age: perception management. Did you know that just one tweet, just one, is completely enough to tank a brand's credibility overnight? Or that a brand's perceived truth is actually more important, more powerful in the minds of the public than its actual truth? That is where perception management comes in. It's like the silent engine behind brand trust, authority, and longevity in the marketplace. So, what is perception management exactly? We could say it's the deliberate shaping of how the public sees your brand. It is not manipulation, by the way, and I cannot emphasize that enough. It is not manipulation. It is more strategic storytelling backed by truth, consistency, and clarity. Think of it as reputation insurance. When brands manage perception proactively, they don't just respond to crisis, right? They control the narrative even before a crisis arises. And in a world where perception can spread faster than facts, it goes without saying that every brand needs to have a strategy to be understood, trusted, and respected in their marketplace. Just having good products is not enough. And when you consider the volatility of a brand's image in today's fast-paced, cancel culture-prone digital age, then it becomes even more important to know that brands cannot afford to leave their image to chance. Because perception affects trust. Trust affects purchase decisions, and purchase decisions ultimately affect your bottom line. So, perception management is a necessity for every brand. It's not an option. Because you see, perception management helps brands control their narrative. It helps them build emotional equity with the public. And we've seen instances where a brand would make a mistake and somehow the public would move on really quickly from that mistake. This often happens to brands that have built some sort of emotional equity with the public. So, perception management helps brands recover faster from crisis. When you've been able to intentionally and deliberately manage how the public sees your brand, then it makes a whole lot of things easier for you in times of crisis. And of course, it helps brands position themselves as leaders. When a brand is actively and proactively managing their perception, you see them positioning to be in the forefront, be perceived correctly by their target audiences, and of course by their peers and competitors. So how does it work? Through messaging, through positioning, through transparency, through consistent action. What are you saying to your public? How are you saying it? Where are you saying it? More importantly, how transparent are you in your brand activities and your business dealings with the public? More importantly, how consistent are your actions? Right? These are all the things that would reinforce a particular perception in the minds of your target audiences. Let's look at a real world example now. Let's look at Apple versus Samsung. Let's use that as an instance. Now, technically, Samsung always innovates first, right? For example, the foldable phone. Who launched first? Samsung. Samsung launched its Galaxy Fold in 2019. And it was the first mainstream foldable smartphone in the market. Apple's move still hasn't launched any yet. But somehow they've managed to create the perception that Samsung's foldable phone is experimental and tech. And so Apple is expected to deliver a refined innovation of their own foldable phones, even if it's late. And you know what? Apple might actually win when it releases one. And this is because people will potentially see it as the perfected one, not the first. So you see, Samsung builds first, but Apple tells a better story. And in branding, it's the story, not the specs, that wins hearts. This is just a random example. There are several instances of where perception management has played really strategic roles in how the public sees a brand. Now, leave me a comment in the comment section telling me what the current perception of your brand is. If you're currently building one, leave me a comment and tell me what you think the current perception of your brand is. Also, subscribe for part 2, where I will be walking you through how small businesses can use perception management to build trust and stand out. Thank you. Bye. See you in the next one.